Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as C-Suite, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And this time I'm looking at A Certain Scientific Accelerator, Chapter 4. And we start off with Estelle kind of working out what, she's doing to Hidekawa's body and being like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have touched that. This girl was improperly raised and has been, still has necromantic energy in her. Easily could become a ghost. So, most people don't touch stuff like that. And Accelerator, on the other hand, not being super aware of magic, generally is kind of like, she must have a mind-reading ability that only works on dead people. That's an unusual restriction, but, she seems pretty powerful for it. So, essentially, she must have traded really powerful mind magic only works on dead people. So essentially, he's trying to fit her magic into his scientific worldview, but pretty much the psionics in Index are, magic of just, with a scientific hokum basis as opposed to a total magical hokum basis. But, such is psionics in a lot of series. Pretty much the magic of the science world. So it's not that hard for him to make up a scientific explanation of how her magic works. But it is interesting. I don't remember Accelerator enough to know when he fully is magic. Although, yeah, him and the railgun definitely pretty much seem to, at least from what I've seen in the TV series, chalk up any magic to weird science I don't understand. But they're interrupted by the two DA members we saw before, stalking the hospital, and they shoot out Estelle and Accelerator as kids making out in the, in the morgue. And I'm like, I guess it's just plot convenient for them not to immediately attack. But I'm like, why did you think they were making out? They aren't even rolled over each other, or they didn't do oh, somebody's coming in, let's pretend to make out. They were just these kids can't be here for the same body that we are. They must be making out. Only logical explanation. And so they shoo them away. And Estelle is like, man, I totally didn't put that girl down, so she's gonna resurrect. I had just made it, I was in the process of making it so she'd be, fully to rest, so she wouldn't come back as, any kind of zombie or ghoul or something. But I didn't finish that, so she's kind of like a puppet at this point. Boy. And Accelerator's like, really? That's the least of our problems. Let me listen in with my Accelerator abilities. And he finds out that, yeah, they basically plan to use some kind of super lie to melt her body and then cover up anything that people might learn about their experiment and DA in general by examining her body. And so Accelerator busts in before they could do that. And they're like, so it is Accelerator. Once again, if they suspected it's Accelerator, why did they just think that these were kids making out? Well, whatever. And so he whips out one of the guys whips out his supersonic Ultra Blade sword they somehow think can, affect the Accelerator, and the reader's like, all right, whatever, Mook. Your power ain't that good. That sword is definitely not that cool. But, try. And it turns out that Hitakawa wakes up and is going to defend her master. And it's pretty much a big fight scene of her flipping around. And man, when this gets animated, they're going to have to, they're either going to, they're going to have to do something creative with this, or basically just give her Barbie doll anatomy. Because even here, when they could pick and choose their frames, there is a lot of, she slams down on the ground and a piece of floor flies up covering, the naughty bits. But even then, the amount that she's fighting these two guys, they really have to just basically she has Barbie doll, Barbie doll vagina, Barbie doll breasts, Barbie doll butt, because, for the amount that she's running around countering these guys, they're either gonna have to make this fight really boring, basically have her have a covering on that wasn't in the manga, or just basically give her the same Barbie doll anatomy with nothing to see here, because otherwise, this you just can't have this fight just play on TV, or you're going to be in some deep, Queen's Blade time. So, eventually the fight escalates to the point where they're going to totally blow away Hitakawa, and Estelle seems still guilty about this girl, being totally obliterated, and sorry, parents of this girl, it's gonna have to be a closed casket funeral. So she gets in the way, and then Accelerator gets in the way, and is like, oh, you think this girl is a monster? You guys have totally gotta fight me. And so, Accelerator is really, more than his general. I guess I'm in this fight. He's not, totally in it. And they seem really freaked out that she's moving around. So I'm guessing that these low-ranking DA guys don't know anything about the magical side. They're probably just given orders by their bosses to, basically a piece of our experiment got away, destroy the evidence. Because, if they knew about the necromancy, I don't see them being that, freaked out by her body moving around. In general, science side people seem unaware of magic. Other than maybe some high level people like Aleister Crowley. But, we did have Lady Lee from the movies, although, how canonical anything in the movies is, question mark, question mark, question mark. But, unless, there's some bad storytelling here, I'm guessing that, the low-ranking guys shouldn't be... once again, the body moving around and them being surprised for a few seconds makes sense. But they seem totally freaked out. They definitely recover, and they're definitely trying to, murk everybody here. But for the amount of reaction they have, they gotta be pretty, what? To, they can't know about, advanced necromancy. So I'm guessing, if the storytelling is consistent, that, only, the super high-ups in DA know about necromancy and magic in general. Although then that begs the question, considering how few people know and how a closely guarded secret magic is, I'm curious who, told them. once again, giving some credence to the idea that Estelle is basically repenting from basically telling the wrong people about magic and necromancy, and that's basically why she wants this whole thing shut down. That she basically talked to the wrong people about magic, and now DA is using some kind of bastardized version of her magic. But mostly a fight scene, not that much to talk about like there was in previous chapters. But some good stuff. I'm kind of curious how much Hitakawa, you know, is Hitakawa going to be put down, or will she basically be revived by this and maybe only eventually put down later on in the story? But I guess we'll see that next time. But otherwise, for Accelerator, see you guys next month. All right, bye bye.